Hey guys, it's Heather from Heather's Gardening. I haven't shown you my garden in a while and it's really starting to grow, so I thought I'd give you another tour. I thought we'd start here because I had a lot of people asking me about the wild blackberries that I have, and here you can see they're not ripe yet, but they're starting to come in. You can see how tiny those are. They just grow, they're really tiny. But there is a lot of them in this area. This is just wild in my woods. And we do pick them and eat them, but I think the birds probably get the majority of them. Basically, it's just like a taste of a little sweetness in your mouth when you get one. Then coming into the opening of the woods, I did plant something on the side here. I know a lot of you were very worried that the deer would eat them. The deer passed them by. There's something back here that the deer really like to eat. So they walk right past this and they go right out here and they nibble on stuff back there. But I planted 2 watermelon plants, and then over here I had a a cantaloupe plant. The squirrels ate the cantaloupe plant. They left the watermelon alone though, so I still have a couple of watermelon here, but no cantaloupe. All right, coming out of the woods, coming up on this hill here, this is where my garden is. We did put mulch down, which is nice because it'll help me keep control of the weeds. But here is the zucchini plants. It's going crazy. This was just one plant, but you can see in here I have zucchini already starting. So last year I had a ton of zucchini. I'm hoping to again this year. And then over here is the broccoli. The broccoli is growing, but there is something eating it, and I'm not really sure what to do about that. If you know, please let me know, because I would like to fix that. If you look some back here, there's a lot of stuff getting eaten, but those are all broccoli. I went back to the store and I got another watermelon and cantaloupe plant just in case, and I planted them here, and I will, once they get bigger, I will transplant them somewhere where there's more room, probably in that same spot in the woods. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a little nervous with the squirrels to see if they would eat that. Over here is cucumber, and you can see I've got some little cucumbers that are starting. Lots of flowers. So I'm excited about that. I hope to get a good amount of cucumbers because my family loves cucumbers, and the strawberries are doing really well. We've gotten quite a few. And the peppers are over here. The 3 pepper plants here, these are just bell peppers. I think 2 are red and 1 is orange. But they will be green, and then you have to let them sit out in the sun. If you pick them while they're still green, it's just a green pepper, but if you let them sit out in the sun for a little bit longer, then they will turn sweeter and turn into red or orange or yellow or whatever other colors you have. I have 2 plants right here and right here. These are jalapeno. My oldest son is crazy for jalapenos, so I planted this for him. Nobody else eats them in my family, but I did last year take jalapenos and smoke them and then put them in the dehydrator and then crush it up, and we had smoked jalapeno spice then, and that was delicious on something. It did give it a little bit of a zing, and my son loved that. So if we end up with a huge batch of them again like we did last year, I'll do that again. And then on my son's request, I got a ghost pepper plant. I don't see any flowers on that yet, any blooms, so we'll see. It's an experiment. I've never grown a ghost pepper plant before, so we'll see how that goes. And then over here, this was another experiment for me. These are supposed to be baby pumpkins, and it looks like the plant gets just as big as if you were doing big pumpkins. It's flowering already. So I don't know. I mean, here's a pumpkin already forming right here. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them this early, because usually pumpkins are a fall thing. I think people would laugh at me if I was displaying pumpkins in the summer. And this here is celery. So that's coming up nicely. You can see how that's coming up. And then the tomatoes went wild. I only planted 4 plants, and then I had a couple of helpers come up because I guess that some of the seeds from last year kind of dug in and grew. But I think this is a total of about 6 plants because I think only 2, maybe 3 helpers came up. But this is a mix of cherry tomatoes and the full-size tomatoes. You can see that I'm getting the flowers. It's starting to flower, but I don't have any tomatoes from it yet. I don't anticipate probably until the end of July. There's a little flower right here. So, and then there was a couple of broccoli that I put over here. These seem to be a little bit better. They don't seem to be getting eaten up by bugs like the other ones. All right, we also have elderberries that just were growing in the wild when we moved in here. So you could see that for the most part they're flowering. Some of them are starting to get their little buds, and the elderberries will grow from there. Elderberries, if you're not sure, they're edible by humans, but only if they've been cooked. If you eat them raw, they're poisonous. So you have to be careful. But I'll tell you what, the birds eat these so fast that it's hard to get some. A couple of summers ago, I was able to get some and bag them and freeze them. And then I made them into a syrup, like a vitamin C preventative syrup preventative from getting sick syrup. And we ate that, and it was good. It wasn't a food, it was to help us to not get sick. And then there's even more of those little blackberries over on this side. We have a lot of those around our house. I love doing spices. I like doing homemade spices. This is still tiny. This is a citronella plant because it'll keep the mosquitoes away. This is basil. It's not really doing so hot right now, but I'm hoping that as the summer goes on, it'll spread. And then that's sage, which is a perennial, so that'll keep coming back each year. So I'm hoping each year it'll get a little bit bigger, but that's a pretty easy spice to make. You just stick it in the dehydrator, and then the needles are the spice. You can grind it up if you want, but if you look in the store, you'll see they also sell it just as the needles. All right, this is the garden in my front yard. I don't usually talk about flowers too much. I'm more into vegetable and herb gardening, but we do have some flowers up front here. But back here, this is where I have the oregano. I just kind of planted a little patch in the corner. This is called yellow Italian oregano, and it is delicious. I can just pick it and put it right into foods, but each year, probably sometime in August, and I might have to do it earlier this year because it's really growing right now, I'll cut it back. This is a perennial, so it'll come back each year, and it comes back bigger and stronger each year. But I'll cut it back, and then I'll take the leaves and stick them in the dehydrator, and then once it's dry and crisp, I'll put it into one of those mashers. Mortar and pestle, is that what they're called? And I'll grind them up into spice, and then we'll have enough oregano. I have so much here. We usually have enough that it will last us all winter, and then I'll make another fresh batch every summer. So we always are constantly having fresh oregano in everything. Thanks for watching, and if you have your own garden, I would love to hear what you are planting, even if it's flowers. I do like flowers, but I am way more into herbs and vegetables and fruits. But I love to hear about all kinds of gardening adventures. Have a great day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.